All right, here we go. I am back, you guys. Chrystal Lynn with Chrystal Lynn Astrology. And this is my son, Ethan Schaefer, with Creative Dynamics. This is his studio and his office, and he's coming together with an amazing new business. And he is a part right now of really helping me come out and communicate better and get to you guys and, using more tools. So, last segment, look how he just loves to be on the video.
Okay, we got.
Tell us what we're doing. He's going to
I'm
help
just
me here.
helping her with getting the comments set up so she could talk to you guys. So you're right here.
See how he's an Aries and he has to get in, he has to get attention? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, so, okay, I'm just checking to see where I can see your questions, you guys, because I want to be able to answer some questions tonight and to be able to connect with you guys because I know that so many of you are going through such radical shifts and changes. So, astrology can really help us to just figure out how we can ride this wave just a little better, to know what areas of our life that, we just have to let go of right now. It's like when you're going through these changes, letting go of control is one of the hardest things to do. But the way things that are lined up right now with the sun, moon, Mercury, and Neptune in Pisces, and with Mercury retrograde, Mercury in Pisces retrograde, we're just going through like this whole storm. The waves are every which way, right? I don't know about you guys, but we've had a lot of rain out here. It's like the sky is purging all that toxicity, that builds up in our atmosphere, and the rain purges it out. And so when we look at the weather, we can also look at ourselves right now. There is a final purging going on in our lives. Now, with Pisces being the 12th house, it is those areas that we often hide, that we hold deep within, that we don't want to feel vulnerable. But it's also the area that can really keep us locked in, like the dungeon, the prison, that can really put us in a place that we end up becoming isolated. And we're afraid to connect with others. We're not settled within ourselves. We become very sensitive. And so I know I'm jumping on. I'm talking about these deeper subjects. I'm looking here right now to see what questions might be coming through. It's not quite showing up. Hang with me, guys. Let's see. Do I have the chat? I think I lost the chat. I might need my, let's see, show chat. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, here we go. We got it. Okay, you guys, you're back. Yeah, was that weird, the last video? All that, I could hear myself talking like 5 times. It was so strange. Okay, so we have some questions. I hope this sounds much better. Let me take a look. We have a question from Matthew. I was a part of a ritual in Arizona. Let's see. Ripping sting on the palm of my hand. I also got stitches carved in my hand on New Year's. Now, is this some type of tribal feeling that you're having when you are feeling the need to tattoo? Or are you feeling some type of belief system that's coming through that you really want to identify with? That's the type of things that are coming through right now. And I hope I understood that question. But that is one of the things that is going on. How are you guys doing tonight with this Mercury retrograde? In Pisces, we've had Mercury in Pisces the last 3 weeks going direct, and now we've been in the shadow the last week, and now we begin to go backwards. So it's a long transit in Mercury. In Pisces, this is all about feeling things. This is about really trusting your instinct. This is about being able to read the room, read others. So for a lot of people, this gets very confusing. So I want to encourage you guys that your sensitivity that you have in your communication right now is going to be very extreme. And with it going retrograde, with Mercury going retrograde, it really wants us to slow down and review and get connected with how we feel, not just be talking to talk, not trying to prove ourselves, not trying to get the last word in. This is really about sitting quietly and listening and feeling others and really understanding what is being said emotionally. You know, sometimes we can be right, but that doesn't mean that we really understand on a deep level what somebody else is going through. And this is where we want to bring empathy into this story. So for a lot of us, we're, having to look at things with empathy, with being empathetic. So let's see, what else do we have here? I'm pulling toward isolation, just want to hide. Okay, now this is very common, again, with this Piscean energy. I want you guys to understand how important this is. Yes, every year we have a new moon in Pisces, but not every year is it conjunct in Neptune. Now, Neptune is like the movie screen. It's like the vision of your life, okay? Neptune rules the movies. It rules those love stories and all of those things. It also rules our mental health. Right now, mental health is a very big topic because people, for the first time, are really looking at their personalities, really looking at who they are, and also being able to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. This is a part of who I am. Finally being able to claim those things and work together with that understanding. So mental health issues are on the table right now. Emotional traumas, those that have high anxiety or, PSD or any of those areas of your life that has been possibly, really holding you back. This is a time to really look at those things. A lot of those things like anxiety and those things that make us want to feel like we want to hide, that isolation, those things come from unhealed wounds. And Pisces is all about getting down to the soul work. Okay, so to really move forward, which we're getting ready to move into such amazing things, this is the universe's way of saying, what else do we need to release right now before we go into this whole new cycle of our lives? What dreams do you have? What visions do you have? What are you looking at right now into your future? Do you feel like, oh, that could never happen? Are people telling you it could never happen? But you're dreaming about it, you're seeing it, your heart's beating when you think about it. Those are the visions coming through right now from Neptune. So we need to embrace those and not push those away. Okay, we've got this information is spot on. Very cool. Hi, Karen. I thought my anxiety would calm now since Uranus has moved into my 12th house of Taurus, or will it get worse? Well, I think we're looking at a different type of a feeling in Taurus, which is a good thing. Okay, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. Anxiety has been so high for so many people because of the fact that Uranus, the last 7 years, was in Aries. That's Mars related. And that type of energy, just, that type of power that we receive from the planets, from above, down here on Earth, we're trying to, assess it. We're trying to, embrace it or receive it. But our bodies are just, it's like too much. And for a lot of people, that's why, even trying to have more alone time. It's really trying to figure out how your body's going to work with all the new vibrations and all the new energy we're moving into. Our bodies have to adjust as well. So with Venus moving into Taurus the next 7 years, it's literally happening tonight as we speak. That's why I really wanted to come on tonight, because so many things are happening like as we speak. And I want you to be able to tonight kind of maybe grasp and identify and realize that, we don't have to be afraid, okay? But Venus in Taurus is going to be more grounding for us. So I believe anxieties will begin to calm down for a lot of us, okay, that are very highly sensitive people. very intuitive people. We feel that the most. Now, Venus or Uranus in Taurus is going to be about grounding yourself. It's going to be about taking care of yourself because Taurus is one of the signs that is all about nurturing. You know, Taurus loves good food, right? Warm, soft blankets at night with a good movie, right? Little ice cream. You know, Taurus is all about comfort. Taurus is all about finding stability and sustaining that in your life. So the universe now is really asking us to lay our foundation, to plant our seeds in a way that are going to last. Now, if you think about it, you know, just as an example, how many of us have planted a tree? And, you know, when you plant that tree, you know, and it's just a little tiny tree and you plant it in the ground, you need to think about it. How big is that tree going to be? Are there any other trees too close to it that are going to really squish out that tree, not allow that tree to be the best it can be? You know, what's that tree going to look like? You know, does it need certain weather? Does it freeze? There's a lot of thought that goes into that because you want the tree to, you know, last the duration. And it's planting a tree is also a time in our life when we're ready to be stable, right? We're ready to actually be stable. When you plant a tree, you know, in that new home or, you know, you have that special garden or you're planting, you're putting a piece of yourself into that says, I'm here to stay. I want to see the cycles of life here. And that's what we're all being called to settle down just a little bit. We've all been like gypsies, right? And now we're moving into settling down a little bit. So part of what I'm going back to is the self-care is going to be really realizing what are the things that are happening before what happens, before your anxiety attack. What's happening before that? Are you not being heard? Are you having a hard time setting a boundary? Are you, you know, not sure what's going to happen from day to day? All of those things add to building up that feeling of being out of control. And, you know, those are just some ideas of how this can play out. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. I have a stellium of my personal planets in Scorpio and Taurus rising at 29 degrees. So looking forward to the next 7 years. Any advice? Yes, well, you're in a great position, especially my Scorpios out there. You know, Scorpios have been through so much the last 7 years because we've been through, you know, 2012, Saturn was in Scorpio. You know, we've had a Jupiter in Scorpio 1-year transit. We've had Mars in Scorpio a couple years ago that went retrograde. So Scorpio, this energy is all about bringing to the surface what we've all seen is the psychological sides of us. Everybody's been intrigued with personality disorders and all of these different ways that we respond psychologically. And Scorpios had to set the example and really show us how to look at the truth. Sometimes that's not always popular. So Scorpios have had a hard time in relationships and in feeling like, you know, they can finally settle and trust and build their life. And so the next 7 years for Scorpio, Uranus is going to be in your 7th house of relationships. You're going to be desiring that stability. You're going to be desiring the emotional stability. So your relationships are definitely the next 7 years going to be very powerful. It's your opposition. So you've done so much work on yourself now that you can finally share that with somebody else. And they can value your emotional side and you can value their stability. So we're all kind of looking for more stability in our lives. So I do see things much better for Scorpio the next 7 years. Let me take a look what else we have going on here. Thank you guys for all coming on. Wow, this is powerful, so thank you. Yeah, this applies to your entire life. I mean, the topics that I'm talking about are really a part of all of what we're dealing with to some degree. But when you look at the actual transits, which is what's going on up in the sky, and you look at your actual birth chart, it will give you an understanding of how that story's playing out individually for you. And, that's one thing that's really, really neat and life-changing about getting a personal reading is to be able to really look at those critical places that you're at, the U-turn. Uranus is all about the U-turn. It's all about you're going one way and that lightning bolt hits out of nowhere and suddenly you're going another way. And being able to handle those changes is so important. The other thing that is really important about this specific month and the specific way that we're moving through this Piscean storyline is the number one answer to all the questions is all about letting go. Letting go. Like if there's ever an answer like ever before to your problem, the answer is to the question, let go. Let go. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's so hard for us right now because we already feel so many things changing, but it's the secret. Because when we let go, we allow the opportunity for miracles, for faith, for God, for those things in your life to really come through and show you that there is a whole, universe that is interplaying with you, that wants to be a part of what is happening in your life. And that requires trust. And if you don't let go, you never really get to see those amazing moments. You're playing it so safe, that you can only stay in this little box. And this energy is all about breaking through all boundaries. Pisces does not have boundaries. One of the biggest lessons for Pisces is you need to set boundaries. We always need to set boundaries. Well, it's true, but the reality is they operate on a dimension where there are no boundaries. It's like a ghost being able to move in and out of the walls in the house. They just go right through those walls. Pisces is able to move through different like shape-shifting. Be whatever it is you need to be at that moment. And that's your greatest gift. But those who know how to swim, they know how to let go and ride with the current, swim with the current. If you're fighting the current, you're going to be exhausted. If you're fighting it, if you're feeling like, especially if there's perfectionism or anything like that really wanting to come in and just, make you not feel good about yourself or feel like you're not doing enough, Pisces is not about perfectionism. It is the messy professor, It is the person that, can do a project and have all the art out on the table, have the cup of coffee, make a messy table, looking for stuff, finding stuff, like Christmas. I know it kind of sounds out there, but there's this whole thing about allowing everything around you, the symbols of life, to speak to you. But if you try so hard to be perfect and live in this perfect little world that we've all been raised, many of us, especially the Pluto and Virgo generation, okay? Those of you guys know, we live under this strong perfectionistic, belief system that we can't jump out, we can't do anything unless we have all the ducks in the row or we're perfect. Well, guess what? The exact opposite in this day and age as we speak is true. Letting go. Trusting, looking for those miracles, and they require an X factor, and the X factor is faith, not making everything happen, not pushing, not grabbing, not being competitive with others, but being competitive within yourself, knowing who you are. And that's when we begin to see true vulnerability, true authenticity. Everything today is about, being yourself, being real. And yet, that's very difficult for us to do. But the truth is, we're all looking for an honest conversation, aren't we? And I know we talked a minute ago about isolation. Part of that feeling of isolation is not feeling like you have those people that can connect with where you're at, the conversations you want to have, the truth. So it's finding that tribe, finding those people, allowing them to come in, often miraculously. So we have a lot of this going on. So let's see. Let's see. Take a look here. Now for Aries, there's one question. I'm an Aries and Pisces. They're on the cusp, March 21st. What can I look forward to next year? Well, here's one of the most powerful things for Aries that I want to share with you guys. Your whole life has been in this radical up and down upheaval, like your hair's on fire and you're running out of the building, It's that fiery energy. And it's been dealing with a lot of issues and identity issues. Well, we are now moving out of that 7-year cycle. But we're moving into another energy. It's called Chiron. Many of you guys know we talk about Chiron as the wounded healer. It's the energy that allows us to heal that most wounded place in our life. Now, for Aries, the wound is really coming from, a lack of true identity. Who are you right now at the end of this 7-year period? You should feel stronger about yourself. You should feel more driven. You should feel like things are getting to go forward. But Chiron has moved into Aries. And this is another new 7-year cycle of healing, of really helping you rise above those things in your life that have held you back. So I believe Aries is on an amazing new 7-year cycle. But again, being willing to look at some of the deeper things. Aries kind of likes to run around and, just get done what's in front of them, conquer, they're impulsive. But for this to really work, it's going to require more stability, more emotional awareness and acceptance, and for others. And you will see the most amazing things happen in your life the next 7 years. Okay, so that's another thing coming up. We can talk about some more as well. I know a lot of us have been working on it, haven't we? Let's see what other questions are coming in. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get my glasses on, you guys. Thanks for bearing with me tonight. This is kind of fun. Let's see. Direction is always felt marketing. Okay, Neptune is transiting my midheaven in Pisces, and my direction is always felt marking, but now it's complete fog. I apologize. I'm not able to read that very good from here, but so it's finding that direction in your career. Those of you that have your 10th house in Pisces would often be a Gemini rising or Gemini. So those of you Geminis out there, you are going to feel your career, your 10th house, really being activated. And maybe you've been doing one thing for so long, okay, as Geminis. You guys usually have, a strong career, the 401k, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're, been in advertising, car salesman, anything that, really gets you out there communicating and selling. But now you're starting to feel a deeper passion for the real things that you love. Really looking at yourself and saying, what do I want to do in my life and career that truly helps others? It's about healing for others, okay? It's about, you're going to see those of you who have Neptune on your midheaven or 10th house, Reiki, massage therapists, those of you who know how to use, herbal therapy. It's going back to really connecting to the spiritual side of us. And it's not doing it in a way that we're using artificial ways, medication, or escapism. For the first time, Pisces is really beginning to look at themselves and finally be okay with who they are. So, I hope that's helpful, but your career will be on the rise. But it has to be a place for it to be successful that you really come from the true heart and you really do what you're very called to do or have been called to do. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. What other signs do I have in here? I'm getting all kinds of messages, so thanks, you guys. Let's see here. Let me see if there's anything up here a little further. Thank you, guys. You're all being so encouraging. I really appreciate that. This is exciting. Let's see. I think that we have to also look at the fact that Jupiter is still in Sagittarius. And for those of you who are Sagittarius, you are far from done right now. You're being really drawn to come out, to speak your truth, to connect with your goals and dreams of travel, of connecting with others, of going back to school, of mastering what you do. With Jupiter in your sign for that year, it's like Jupiter's like the big teacher or Santa Claus. Some people feel like he's like a Santa Claus here to bring you all the gifts that you've earned over the last 12 years, help you redirect your path. Jupiter is a 12-year transit. So with Jupiter and Sagittarius for all of us, excuse me, it's really helping us come out. It's really helping us come out to the forefront. And it's helping us really realize what is it that we believe and preaching it. Sagittarius is the preacher. Pisces is the spiritual monk or the person who can deeply connect spiritually in quiet meditation. But you can't stay there forever. You've got to get the word out. And with Jupiter in Sagittarius right now as we speak, in this square with Pisces, it's really, shaking us all up. And having us look exactly down inside and figure out what is our truth. What is our truth, okay? You're not going to get away with any other way of looking at it, but really connecting with your truth, with who you are. So that's really exciting as well, okay? So anybody else, if you have any specific questions, I'm trying to take questions. I should blow this up a little bit because the writing's kind of far from me. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, here's a good one from Karen. Yes, I'm a Gemini rising. I just quit my job at a pharmacy of 33 years. So, and this is due to what I'm understanding here is having, some nervous system problems. You're not alone. Okay, our nervous systems are very fragile right now, like I've talked about before, because of the fact that with Neptune and Pisces, we're on a very, very high vibration, okay? Especially also right now, Venus is in Aquarius, so that's also very, very high vibration. So, all right, I'm getting a drink. Thank you, guys. This is so great. I have my crew. Thank you. I didn't bring water out here, and this is like cranberry juice. So perfect. Don't be afraid, if you need to get medical help for those areas in your life. Some of you guys know, and I've shared, I haven't really been able to get too deep into it, but I have been dealing with, the last few years, some very serious panic attacks. And for a while, I had to focus on them. I couldn't just keep pushing them away. They were really beginning to dominate my life. And, they were just back to back, back to back, back to back. I let them go for way too long and tried to just manage them myself. Now, I do believe in exercise and eating right and everything you can do, but it's also a lifestyle change. You really have to ask yourself, if you're on such a high, your nervous system is just on high sensitivity or high alert, look around your life as well. Are there things in your life that, you are not dealing with? That's, weighing heavy on your heart, that you feel like, is just weighing you down, or you can't escape from, or you can't get away from. There's nothing in your life that should have that much control over you, not at this time in our lives. We have to take our stand, and we have to claim who we are, our identities. But often, because of, and again, I'm kind of jumping around, that's the Mercury and Pisces thing to do, because we have Neptune in Pisces, so many of us, so many healers, those of you who are empaths, who have a lot of water in your chart, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces especially, operating on such a high sensitivity level. So 10 years ago, something may have not even bothered you. You might not have paid attention. You might have just been oblivious to it. Now that same thing is magnified 100-fold, and you see every aspect into it, and all of a sudden you realize how heavy that has been for years and years and years, that you've been carrying this weight. And because you haven't, or you've felt like you couldn't make different choices, that's when we start to feel like we're suffocating or we're trapped. And anxiety is such a big topic, but it also, you need to look at the root of it. Is that anxiety really your inner voice screaming at you because it hasn't been able to reach you or get you to listen, that it no longer wants to operate maybe in a toxic situation? In relationships, how many of us have had to really change and look at our relationships? That is very, very big due to the fact of this high sensitivity. So if you need medical help, if, sometimes, a medication that helps you get things back in balance so your body can heal, whatever it is that you feel like or have done the research of, look at all of your options. Because sometimes with anxiety, if it happens over and over and over again, it can just get on like triggered all the time. So we need to take it very seriously, because it really can isolate you and create paranoia, create, all of those things. I mean, these are honest conversations we're having. Afraid to go to the grocery store, afraid to go out and drive. It can really cripple you. And it really is, there is a way for us to work with this and heal this. So, but it does take a full responsibility of each one of us in these areas to stop and really look down deep and say, what is causing this? And ask yourself, is this something I need to make a stand on? And, making those changes one at a time, you will feel the changes in your psychological makeup and your nervous system and all of those things. They're very, very reactive right now due to these shifts and changes. So that was a good question. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Anything else out there? Let's talk about our Taurus, because of the fact that Uranus has just moved in, literally today, into your sign for the next 7 years. You guys are really going to be on the forefront. So my Taurus out there, you're going to be showing us how to have it all, to take care of ourselves, to live the good life, and at the same time to work really hard and work it hard at planning for the future, making money. We're finally in the money-making business right now, okay? Taurus is an earth sign. We also have Mars in Taurus right now, conjunct this transition from Uranus in Aries to Taurus. So it's a double whammy. Also, think about the Taurus. It's the bull. And you know what? Sometimes we have to take life by the horns, okay? And we have to take control of it. And yes, I say let go, okay? So there's this letting go of the outcome, but then there's this daily practice of creating a stable environment for you to be free in, okay? The bull loves to have its big pasture, and he's takes care of his herd. He's in control. He watches from a distance. He doesn't let people into his space. He wants to make sure he's got food. He doesn't want to use too much energy, okay, to run around and waste that energy. That's why Taurus, they know how to do things slow and right, slow and right. So there's consistency there. So this is a part of our life saying, what is the security underneath us? You may be feeling drawn to finding that stable place. Also, when we see Taurus, I see the gypsy, okay? This can also be for many people that want to travel, okay? Jupiter and Sag, get that really cool little motorhome, fix it up, and go traveling around. There's no rules to the road. There's just, even if it's your own stability within your own chaos, it's just about you having something you can count on while you're being creative. Often when our life is like, we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know where we're going to live, we don't know how we're going to pay the bill, that causes a lot of anxiety, but it also kind of keeps us in this place of, insecurity, and it doesn't allow us to relax, okay? Relaxing and allowing ourselves to really breathe and come down so that we can really see life, in a more practical way, in a more positive way, and that it's not running us, but we're running it through our focus. So these are a lot of things to be thinking about right now, huh? For Leo, all right, with Jupiter and Sag, this is a good year for you as well. Leos have been through a lot of radical shifts, but now, again, the lion's looking for the den, some more stability. The lion is ready, to stand on its hill. And so, again, for each one of us, this is a very personal journey. We're now being asked to take personal responsibility for ourselves. And in the beginning, I talked briefly just about so many people who have been in, very, dogma, different types of belief systems that you're raised with, that you don't know any different. And people for the first time are allowing their voice to come through, like, this doesn't work for me, or I'm not comfortable with this, and questioning the belief systems they've been raised with. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It doesn't mean you even have to change anything. But for the first time ever in our generation right now, we're being asked to think for ourselves. So many people don't even know how to do that. And really developing the freedom and the excitement to really say, what do I want? What do I want to do? What makes me tick? How can I be the best I can be? And it's breaking free from a lot of those rules and regulations. And that's also, I'll bring another, big heavy hitter into the storyline, another character, would be Saturn and Capricorn. We have Saturn and Pluto there. Okay, so you guys know in Capricorn, that's the government, that's the, the traditional school systems, their traditional way of learning, right? They're just not working anymore. Being in that little box and being forced into this little box and, how you're supposed to learn this one way, you know what? Especially the kids coming in to the world right now, the kids who are, 0 to 10, they're going to blow away every one of those, rules in that box. They're just going to blow it out of the water. And it's difficult because many of us are looking at our children. I know I have an 8-year-old son, and go, these are like the most, they're old souls. They love history. They love, they're so intelligent, and they love to connect with life and they're confident in their belief systems and, what they want to learn and explore. And so if your child or if you are really struggling in a certain structure, instead of thinking to yourself, what's wrong with me? This structure, everyone should be successful in this. Well, guess what? Nothing's wrong with you. In fact, everything is right with you when you can take a stand and say, this is what I want to do. This is how I learn. This is how I want to pursue my life, and do it with confidence and freedom. Because Saturn's in Capricorn and Pluto is also there, this is about rebuilding the systems and about building our own empires. It's about finally being able to look at our financial and say, you know what? The sky's the limit. Money is no longer really the issue, although Capricorn is all about financial security and making money. It's really about understanding that money is a way to create energy. It's a way to keep the ball rolling. It's a way to help others. It's a way, to give out. It's a way to receive. But it no longer is really dominating our ego anymore. It's like Capricorn, if you think about Capricorn, I always think about like the old man, and he's driving down the road in his old truck. And, he's the neighbor, and he's got his little holy overalls on and, his little greasy hat, right? Maybe he doesn't even have teeth. But guess what? He is probably a billionaire, and nobody knows about it. That's the Capricorn. They don't take their money and go and show it off. They know how to hoard that money a little bit. They know how to work with it, and they really look for other people in their life that work on that level. So this isn't about our ego. The Pluto and Leo generation, when we look into kind of the 50s to the 60s, they were really raised with having the biggest houses, the biggest boats, the big dually trucks, right? That's that Leo generation. And so many of us, that's what we've looked up to. That's what we thought was success. And now success is freedom. Success is freedom. Like, I got to come down here tonight. I'm working with others who are working on being able to do this kind of work. So we're teaming up and collaborating together. They're working on social media or on film. I get to focus on the astrology, and we all get to come together as a little tribe, as a little unit, and each one of us brings our dish to the table. That's what this is about. The universe wants us working together in a healthy way. Now, that doesn't mean that, we just open the door to everyone. I think people need to be, tried and true. People need to be tested. It's okay for us to say, these are my standards for my relationships, my business interactions, and hold those standards high. And, not just take anything that comes our way because we're so excited and we don't think anything's going to come our way again. We've all been there, kind of that desperate feeling. Oh, Capricorn is not about being desperate, okay? Capricorn is about standing up, knowing what you have working for you behind the scenes, and knowing the success that's ahead of you. And, being able to make that happen. So, what is all this stuff? We've got all these different scenes to the story. So we've got Jupiter bringing out our beliefs and bringing out our messages. Like right now, I have Jupiter in Sagittarius in my 10th house of career. So this year, even though I've taken a few years to kind of work on myself, this year, all of a sudden, it's like, I got to get the message out. It has to come out now. And the universe opened the door. Just open the door for me. I've been working on this channel since 2012, trying to push, trying to connect, trying to be out there. And little by little, I've been building it and building it. And it's like, I felt stuck. It's like, this is as far as I can go. And all of a sudden, the universe just came alongside me. And through my son and through my family and through some other amazing artists, we're bringing this together. And the door opened. I couldn't have made it happen. I couldn't have pushed it open. I can't even close the door. It's happening. And it's when I finally just let go. I just said, you know what? These are my gifts. These are my talents. I would love to share those and use those. Use me, God, use me to be the best I could be. But before those doors could open, I had to do the work behind the scenes. The work when you are alone. If you're feeling that time when you just want to be alone, there's nothing wrong with you. There's a difference between a time that you are reflecting and meditating. Even Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. When you look at spiritual people or examples, there's a time to fast. There's a time to quiet down. There's a time to separate yourself from the noise so you can hear yourself and you can hear the messages coming through. People often confuse that, though, with feeling depressed, feeling isolated. They don't know that it's okay and it's actually the most empowering thing that you can do right now, especially as we enter into this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Let yourself rest, okay? It's crucial because once we come through this retrograde in April, we're going to hit the ground running because all the planets are still going to be moving forward. Very rare time in history that all the planets are moving forward right now, except Mercury. But Mercury's helping us re-edit everything. Take that break a minute. So I hope that makes sense. How are we doing here? I don't know what we're doing on time here. But these were some really good questions, you guys. Let me see if there's anything else. Did anybody else have any other questions? Let's see. Yay, Taurus. Yeah, Taurus, you guys are, it's literally all about going back to the earth also. Tauruses will do really well in herbs and planting and growing anything or participating in any type of natural healing for others. That's a big business for you guys. That's a good one, and that will help keep you stable as well. Let's see. Just kind of trying to read a few things here. So if Jupiter's in Sag now and Sag is in my third house, then Jupiter is in my third house. Okay, so for those of you that understand astrology on a little higher level, everybody in the room's probably at a different place. We look at, by knowing your time of birth, we can look at your rising sign, which then shows us the houses in your life. Every astrology chart has what's called houses, and it's basically like bedrooms in your house of who you are. And the third house is how you communicate to others. It's your community, it's your neighborhood, it's your cousins and siblings, it's your, like I said, those around you that you're closest to. So with Jupiter and Sag in your third house, Sagittarius being the master, you may be taking a role as a teacher or a master. You may also be traveling back and forth to see different people in your life, different family. This can also be a time that you're advertising or doing your business around the world through the internet. Okay, when we look at Sagittarius, we look at the whole world, all the different cultures, all the different languages. And right now is a time that we can connect our ideas to the whole world. And so we're no longer isolated in this one little spot with this one little, following. It's like the world's opening up to us right now. And your tribe becomes bigger and bigger, but your connection to each other becomes more and more specific. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's all of us beginning to really dial in our speciality and learn those things that will help us get to the next step. And with the internet, if you feel like, well, I haven't gone to school or I haven't learned, there's free lessons on the internet every single day. There's nothing that you can't learn. The only thing it takes is time and dedication. If you want it, don't expect, although we're talking about faith and the doors opening, if you haven't put the preparation in, don't expect for that X factor of faith to automatically be there. It's part of the equation. And it's also about you preparing yourself, okay? Like perfect practice makes perfect performance. You know, if you don't practice perfectly, you're not going to just become perfect. However you practice is what you become. And so for all of us, we're all individuals and how we want to live our lives. But it's at the point where we have to take it seriously. As we move, the internet is going to continue to explode, and the opportunities are going wild for all of us. But, you know, you have to be on the cutting edge. You have to be the person that's put the hours behind the scenes if you really want it. And if you don't, if you're not really willing to do what it takes, you know, then you have to accept that that's the truth. I'm just not really willing to do what it takes. And not blame anyone else, not blame your parents, not blame the friend who or the person who is doing what it takes, not being resentful, not being competitive in that way or jealous. Those are very toxic vibrations and will not bring us in to the future. The future as we know it, and again, these kind of get into big topics, but I'm just kind of touching on a lot of them. The future as we know it, we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius is the internet. So we already know that the internet, you know, is access to any, you know, it's like you can create your own office like this. This is my own office, my years of study. Okay, I've made this into an opportunity through the internet to share with you, right? And I can come on and create a little world that we're experiencing together. It's as if I'm talking to you and you guys are talking to me. We're making this actual connection. And that allows each person to have their own opportunity. There's nothing that can stop you. But you have to understand that this is about taking responsibility for your own actions. This is about investing in your own life. And the more you invest, the doors will open. So it really is about taking that responsibility. That really is what Aquarius is about. And if you don't, you're just going to be stuck in the mud, basically, the murky mire of life. The old patterns of thinking just aren't going to work. So it's doing that work within ourselves. Once you really, really accept and identify with who you are, the birth chart is so great for that because it's like a fingerprint in the sky. Only your fingerprint. Yes, we can have similar things, but there's no two alike. And to really understand the tools, you know, through astrology, who you are, and the more you understand it and the more you embrace it, the more that powerful energy will be able to come through you. All right? It's in those times when we're denying it or, trying to figure things out. It's like, no, just integrate it. When that happens, the confidence will be there. You'll be so excited that you won't have to look at anybody else. You'll be so excited between you and God. Wow, this is the opportunities I've been given. And everybody has a choice to live in your shadow side or to live in the ultimate good that's set before you. Okay, so lots of things to talk about. I am going to kind of bring this to a close right now. I think we've talked about a lot of things. I do want to let you guys know that I'm doing a free reading. I'm having a contest right now. I am picking this week's winner tomorrow evening. So you have a whole entire day to sign up. I will be picking a winner tomorrow night, and I will be doing my free reading here live on YouTube Friday night. So I will have my email below. Click on it. It'll have you just sign up your name and be a part of this. And there's my daughter. I would answer it, but she gets into all kinds of fun conversations. I'll have to wait. So back to signing up. It would be a great honor for me to be able to connect with you and be able to pick a chart and, help you guys learn how to read charts. It's not just showing my abilities, but I like to use this as a teaching tool. So go on, sign up. If you do not get picked this week, I am going to be continuing this series of my free readings going into the next couple of months. You may be picked another week. So keep signing up if you're watching this video. We will put you in a very specific order of people that get the free readings. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, you could email me below. If you'd like to get a private reading, please also inquire and email me, and we can set something up. And last pitch, I have natal chart reports that are a great beginning start for astrologers. It's like about approximately 20 pages of an in-depth look at you and your personality based on the day and time you were born. So I'll be putting my website and email below. Come and visit me. Let's connect. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions for my future videos, I'd love to hear them, okay? Thank you for working with me on my first night live on YouTube. I felt really good about it. We overcame Mercury Retrograde tonight, and I better stop while I'm ahead. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will be seeing you soon. And I'm not quite sure how we're saying goodbye. Let's see here. Let me let the guys turn that off for me. That wasn't a very good exit, was it? But see, I'm letting go. Maybe we need to start again. We never know. Thanks, you guys, for your encouragement until this gets shut off. I'll just kind of read through a few more questions. Neptune in my first is exhausting me. Anything good with this position? There is just to end on this, there is a form of exhaustion that happens when you're going through such emotional release, emotional surging, and emotional awareness. Let yourself rest. This kind of work, although it seems like it's very internal, takes more out of you than running a marathon. It's that inner work. And you do have to nurture yourself along the way. But the good news is you're worth it. We're worth it. So let's do it. Be all that we can be so that we can accept all that we, can accept for our futures and be ready. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to try to say goodbye again. I hope maybe that last question helped. They're keeping me on here. So this is my son. How are we turning this thing off? Hi, my Aries. He's got to get in there. Isn't he cute?
The coffee.
Oh, now I got coffee. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so
Friday.
Friday. Okay. So Friday night, I did kind of tell
And
him.
then we'll close.
Okay, Friday night, 8 p.m., I am doing a live reading based on somebody that I pick from my email list that you guys are emailing
We
me.
put the link in the thing.
Okay, we put the link below.
The link in the below, and then they go put their information in.
Okay, so follow that direction.
It'll be pinned at the top.
Okay, it'll be pinned at the top.
It's in the comments.
It's in the comments.
And
See,
in the
this is so
description.
great. They're doing all of this for me. I'm so excited. I just get to talk about astrology. And I have to let go of control, so that's kind of I'm having a little hard time too. That's the Virgo side of me. But I'm doing really good and, flowing with everything, trying, right? So I'm doing the reading Friday night. Put your birthday below, sign up. And again, if I don't choose you tomorrow, you will still be on the list for future free readings. So come and say hello, everybody. And subscribe. Oh, yeah. What are we going to do? Subscribe, like, comment. We need to get the comments going because we really want to get this channel up and going so that we can reach out to so many people about what's going on and how we can, take advantage of all of the opportunities coming our way. So press the notifications and goodbye. Oh, the bell.
Yeah,
The bell.
don't forget the bell.
The bell. All right, guys. Bye.